What if someone tells you a story today and it sounds normal, but something in it feels crooked? Not dramatic, not crazy, just crooked. Like one chair ledges a little shorter than the others. You cannot prove it yet, but your body notices. Something does not sit right. Most people miss that moment because they move too fast. They get emotional, they interrupt, they accuse, or they want the truth so badly that they start chasing it. And once you start chasing, you stop observing. That is how people fool you, not because you are stupid, but because they got you moving before you had time to look. So let me make this clear. Spotting a liardoes not mean treating everyone like a suspect. One nervous laugh is not proof. One strange pauses, not proof. That is not power. That is panic wearing a detective hat. The real skill is quieter. You slow down. You ask one clean question, then you watch what starts to wobble, because a real story can stand. A fake story needs support. Extra words, extra effort, extra explanations. And the more calmly you listen, the harder it is for a weak story to stay standing. So here are 5 fast sensomyon may not be telling you the whole truth. The first sign is this: the story gets heavy when you ask for details. A weak lie loves simple questions. Did you do it? No. Did you go there? No. Are you lying? Of course not. That is too easy. They can step around it without showing you much. So do not ask the question that gives them the smallest door. Ask the question that makes the story walk. Instead of, did you go out? Ask, what happened before you got there? Instead of, did you ignore my message? Ask, what were you doing when you saw it? Instead of, are you telling the truth? Ask, walk me through it. You are not interrogating. You are not raising your voice. You are letting the story carry more weight. A real memory usually has texture, a place, a timing, a reason. A fake may look smooth from far away, but up close you start seeing the tape holding it together. So ask calmly. Then stop talking. Let the story carry itself. The second sign is this: the first few seconds look different. Right after you ask the question, do not rush in. Do not explain your question. Do not rescue them from the silence. Just watch. The first few seconds there, where people often leak pressure. Maybe the hand goes to the face. Maybe the eyes move away. Maybe the voice changes. Maybe the body freezes. Maybe they answer too fast, like they were waiting for that exact question. But be careful. One movement means nothing. Some people look away when they think. Some people pause because they are careful. So do not grab one small thing and call it proof. Look for several things showing up together. A pause, then a voice change, then a sudden over-explanation. That is not a final verdict, but it is a yellow light. It means slow down. Something in that question hit a sensitive spot. The third sign is this: they stop sounding like themselves. This is where people get it wrong. They say liars avoid eye contact. Not always. Some liars stare right at you. They say liars talk too much. Not always. Some honest people explain too much because they are anxious. So the better question is not, did they do one suspicious thing? The better question is, did they suddenly become different from how they normally are? Everyone has a normal rhythm. Some people talk fast. Some people talk slowly. Some people use their hands. Some people look away while they search for words. That is their rhythm. But when the important question comes, listen for the beat changing. A person who usually talks freely suddenly gives tiny answers. A person who usually keeps things simple suddenly builds a whole speech. A person who usually jokes around suddenly has no humor left. That shift matters. The lie is not always hiding in the eye contactor, the hands or the pause. Sometime lie is hiding in the sudden change. The fourth sign is this: the story starts wobbling when you come back to it. A real story may be messy, but the center usually stays in place. A fake story has a harder job. It has to remember what it already invented. So do not attack the story, just come back to it later from a different angle. If they said, I was too busy to answer, later ask, what were you working on around that time? If they said, I forgot to tell you, later ask, when did you remember? If they said, I already explained that, ask, help me understand the order again. Stay normal, stay calm. You are not trying to win. You are checking whether the main story can still stand. Truth can move around. You can ask it from the front, from the back, from the middle. It may not be perfect, but it still feels like the same story. A fake story often needs the exact road it was built on. Change the road, and the wheels start shaking, The time changes, the reason changes, the detail disappears. Or they get irritated because you touched the part they did not prepare. That wobble is not proof by itself, but it tells you not to swallow the story too quickly. The fifth sign is this. They look for an exit door when a fake story feels cornered. It often tries to leave the room. Sometimes it leaves through soft words. Maybe, I think, probably, I guess, kind of. Those words do not always mean lying. But watch where they appear. If someone is clear about everything else, then suddenly gets foggy right at the most important part. Slow down. Ask, what makes you say probably? Or, what part are you not sure about? Sometimes the exit door is a topic switch. The moment the story gets tight, they bring up a joke. Or your tone. Or something you did last week. Or some random thing that has nothing to do with the question. Most people follow them. They take the bait. They start defending themselves. They forget the original point. Do not follow the escape route. Stay on the path. You can say, we can talk about that later, but first, finish what you were saying. Simple, calm, clean. You are not attacking. You are just not letting the story walk out the side door. Now here is the whole point. How to spot a liar instantly does not mean you become a human lie detector. It means you stop being rushed. You stop getting pulled into noise. You stop letting someone else's confidence make you ignore your own awareness. You watch the weight of the story. You watch the first few seconds. You watch whether they still sound like themselves. You watch whether the story wobbles when you return to it, and you watch whether they keep looking for an exit door. One sign is not proof, but a pattern is worth respecting. If you see one strange thing, stay calm. If you see several strange things around the same important detail, slow down even more. Ask cleaner questions. Listen longer. Do not accuse too early. But also, do not betray yourself just to make the conversation comfortable. People who lie often rely on your reaction. They want you emotional. They want you confused. They want you explaining yourself. They want you chasing the story instead of watching it. But the unbothered person does not chase. The unbothered person gets quiet. And when you get quiet, fake stories start making noise. Here is the bottom line. A liar is not most afraid of the person who yells. They can use your yelling to make you look unstable. What they do not like is a person who stays too calm to be rushed. A person who asks one clean question and then waits. A person who does not follow the escape route. A person who watches the cracks without needing to scream. I caught you. That is emotional armor, not suspicion, not paranoia. Just being awake. So when a story feels off, do not explode. Do not beg for the truth. Do not start performing pain. Slow down one beat. Ask for the detail. Watch the change. Trust the pattern, and let the story show you whether it can stand on its own. Comment one word. When something feels off, what do you trust most? Words, taught, gut silence. Tot Mylinen, just one word. And remember, you do not become harder to fool by becoming colder. You become harder to fool by staying calm. Anoto, see what is really there.